What's going on? I'm Anon Moose. We are here on the T-Moz account. First of all, want to start out by throwing a huge shout out to all of you who did not complain or whine or moan or call me filthy names because of my video yesterday. I have a problem with the software that I use to record videos. I had a problem, I should say. I've done a bunch of test records. This is going to be magical. When I updated it, part of it broke. I have a bug report open. Nonetheless, we are now in the good. I have heard that Stage 7 of Imitation Game has a bunch of ice, so I figured, you know what? Screw it. Let's do some Imitation Game. I know a lot of you have already completed it, just based on time zones and things like that, but it's kind of a neat new little experience where I get to hear about Imitation Game before I attack it, as opposed to before when I had the fancy time zone by creating my account in New Zealand and all that sort of fun stuff. Definitely still a bit sad that I don't have that early access, but you guys have been great about waiting or still watching videos and things like that. So big shout out to all of you. Again, 2 shout outs in the first couple minutes. Wow, that's a lot of shout outs. Anyways, let's keep pushing forward. I really do want to see Stage 7, but first of all, I do want to get rid of Everspark. Now, I do not have instant training, so this is going to be hopefully without any reloads or without any diamond spent, but that may not be the case. We'll have to wait and find out. So we're going to quickly check the level of this mine. Level 12 doesn't show how much damage it does, unfortunately. Now, if you're scouting from when you're actually attacked before you attack, it does show the damage. So I've never noticed that before. Nonetheless, let's have a quick peek here and see if we can't take this down. It looks very straightforward, but we're going to have to wait and find out, I suppose. There's nothing about Stage 2 that should pose any difficulty for any of you guys that are playing. Stage 3, 4 are typically when things start to get a little bit difficult. I do recommend waiting to drop brick until your Zookas start to get into the grassy area, just because it makes the walk that much easier. Don't have to worry about 2 different speed of troops. All you need to do is throw your smoke ever so slightly in front of your troops, and then everything will work together to come into this nice little spot at the end. Now, we should be able to hit this core and not have to worry about, uh-oh, we just lost exactly what I was going to say as far as not needing to throw any shocks, but I think we should still be okay. We can throw 1, 2, 3 shocks and then flare the core, and still hopefully not lose any troops just because brick battle orders. That mortar right there might have ranged just the edge, but battle orders so incredibly good. Getting that extra crystal. I feel like anytime I record Imitation Game, I have a better chance of getting a crystal. Somehow lost a troop there. Not really sure what went on there. Anyways, let's keep going, moving right along. Now, it is, in case you don't check the news location, it is Tank Medic Mania, getting tanks and medics for super cheap. I will not be using tanks and medics on this account simply because I think my tanks are level 1 and my medics are level 2, something in that neighborhood. What we're going to do here is just barrage all of these mines, hoping to get, that's exactly what I was hoping to do, is hoping to get one of those flamethrowers down, if not both. And by doing that, we end up picking up a little bit of GBE back. I'm going to also throw this artillery. Doesn't really do anything, but at the same time, just throwing that extra 3 gunboat energy, you get 3 back. So it makes perfect sense in my head. It also does extra damage to the core, so I don't think there's any reason why not to do that. I'm going to throw this flare in a terrible location. We're going to split this headquarters and probably lose a whole bunch of troops in the process, but that gap in those mines was not super duper big, so thankfully low level mines means troops should live. Probably should have picked one side or the other, but you know what? We're hoping that that mortar is not going to fire, and we should have enough GBE. Look at that. We got enough for tons and tons and tons of shocks. 4 shocks, 0 issues whatsoever. Unboosted, by the way, so this is not like we're boosting 9 statues or something ridiculous like that. Not great statues. Stage XP 31, we should be able to beat any day of the week. Anyways, let's keep going, hoping to get into the good stuff. I've heard it's littered with ice was the exact terms I heard. So level 13 mines, I'm going to get rid of 2 of them. That should be enough that hopefully our Zookas get out, and we're going to walk all the way wide. Probably should walk up the middle, but walking up the side tends to be a little bit easier as far as getting your troops to where you want to. And that way, I think one of those rocket launchers is going to range somewhere in there. So by dropping our Zookas and Miss Brick early, I am hoping that Brick's going to start walking a little bit earlier than our Zookas, and she hopefully will clear a mine, but it looks like she's not going to, so bit of a screw up on my part. Now we hold and wait our breath. Oh, what did I just say? Hold and wait our breath? We hold our breath is what I meant to say. Rocket launcher turned, so I am going to throw that first smoke and then wait a little bit, let it fire at Everspark and Brick, because really it's not going to be able to do enough damage to her for us to be concerned about it. And then let's get walking once our Zookas get behind that wood storage. That way you know they're going to get funneled by the wood storage, and you get a little bit... Uh-oh, that is not what I meant to do. I tried to throw 2 smokes, only threw 1, managed to recover, but not super ideal for sure. Now we just need to realize we only have 3 shocks. So we're going to have to go 1, 2, 3, I guess, and then some medkits. Medkits very, very quickly. Did we lose any troops? Looks like no. So I don't know how we lost them on stage 2. Must have been a sniper tower or a boom cannon or something, but cruising right along that sidewalk, not super great. I'm not entirely happy with that, but it worked out. Now, this person kind of answers the question for us of which way we want to go. Their mines, see how they show the damage? They don't show that when you're scouting from within. So I don't know if that's a bug or a feature or something. Anyways, let's keep walking right along. Okay, barrage right there. Hopefully we'll get all of the boom mines and the mines and maybe pick up a little bit extra GBE. Did not get it, but hopefully it damaged that cannon enough. There we go. So managed to do some good stuff, even though our barrage wasn't perfect. Now, right into that gap, we want to use buildings to funnel our troops. That is critical, because it makes your troops walk nice and skinny and hopefully single file, but it all depends on the flare placement. So we're going to wait until they get right to that flare, and then we're going to walk right here just because that should get them walking in a nice, straight, cozy line. We'll find out very, very soon. We've already lost the delay, of course. I have not been super duper great at keeping the delay in any of my attacks lately, it seems. We're going to throw an artillery right here, trying to free up a little bit of space for those ladies to stand, and also removing a shock. So now one thing to be aware of is you can flare buildings and shock buildings that are underneath what are those things called? Sky shields. You just have to be a little bit careful, as you can see there. You can shock buildings underneath the sky shield. You just can't throw the shock inside the sky shield. Hopefully you guys all knew that. If not, mines are exploding. Extra crystal again. Holy, this is not normal. This is fantastic. Big, big excitements. So we got a crystal on stage 2. We got a crystal on stage 5. That is 2 powder into the plus. Let's have a look at stage 6 before we attack. Stage 6. I really do wish they had the names. I feel like we've attacked this base before, but Stone's Devil, that's level 1, obviously. I'm guessing that's a brand new building they've just placed, because that doesn't make sense. Otherwise, this base does not have any ice, so this should be fairly straightforward as far as the takedown. I am hoping to sit right about here where the sniper tower is. Thereabouts, because that way we can just shock the mortar and the shock launcher and this stuff over here. So seems pretty straightforward. Should be able to get back there with all sorts of gunboat energy, but first we need to clear the mines. Low level accounts against high level mines, not a great combo at all. So next up we're going to get rid of this cannon. Again, it doesn't make sense not to, because you get free GBE. 3 for 3 just makes more perfect sense I think we're going to make sure that we actually, no, we're not. Man, like I said, I am just not, those smokes were a little bit too low, and as a result, we've already lost the delay. All of the buildings are now pointing directly at our troops. Not a good place to be. Or probably, I'm going to guess if this goes well, we're going to lose 5 Zookas. I'm going to guess. Let's go like this. 1, 2, 3. And then medkits, and hopefully that should get this down. I mean, there's only single shot defenses around us, so those medkits were not going to do anything, but there's nothing else that was of any use, just in case we missed a machine gun or something like that. What did we lose? 3. So far we've lost a total of 4 troops through 6 stages. Smokey Zookas, super duper strong. 19 diamonds to bring back. I must have lost some more. That doesn't make sense. We must have lost more on stage 5. There we go. So 19 diamonds to bring back 10 Zookas seems a bit intense. Instant training, endless reserves, so much good. There we go. There's the icy base. Love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ice at the very, very least. The other way you can do it is by counting offensive statues, but it's just too much work. This person needs to do some pruning of their trees. 1, 2, 3 offensive. They might have as much as 7 defensive ice statues. I'm just not inclined to go looking for them. Now, really, we should try and solo this just for the fun of it. I wish I could have like an instant poll for you guys to fill out, because realistically, if we park back behind that boom cannon, we only really need 1 shock here and 1 shock here. So, max level mine, not max level. I guess those aren't max level mines anymore. Should we do this? I think we should. There's no shock mines anywhere in that walk. Let's just try and solo it, and I've got enough diamonds that I can fill up if I have to. Not super duper ideal, but you know what? Let's do it. Try to get the 7 ice solo for the low level. HQ 18 versus max level HQ, not off to a good start. This is a terrible start for mines. This is going to cost us all sorts of gunboat energy. So now what we need to do is make sure that Brick clears those mines back there. You can see he or she is trying to hide one behind that statue. Not a big concern, but it is going to cost us a bit of gunboat energy to make sure that we get all of those mines cleared. Also, desperately need to make sure that we keep all sorts of delay. Let's get walking. We're going to go right to about there, hoping that Brick walks on the path that we've put her on. Everything looks good so far. Going to have to throw those smokes very, very late in the hopes that we just barely get them in front of Brick, because that way we can keep the delay and let our Zookas catch up, which is fairly critical at this point. Now, what I'm going to have to do is back that flare up just a touch. I don't think we have enough to do battle orders and shock the rocket launcher, so I'm going to not throw battle orders right away. Now we just need some luck. That rocket launcher is firing, and it's going to be so... I think we're going to get wrecked here. Not going to get it down. Wasted too much GBE at the shore, which had we have had battle orders, that would have gone down, but it's not going to happen on the first solo. So bit of a sad trombone there, but overall we managed to do in the neighborhood of, what is that, 205,000 health, something like that. Not bad for low level, but it does mean we're going to have to walk back there and do it again. Did not get far enough behind this rocket launcher. I'm tempted to try with 4 Zookas, but that would not be a good idea. So we're going to spend 129 diamonds. I think I've spent in the neighborhood of 800 diamonds this week. So that is a good time to throw the segue in, saying make sure, please, if you enjoy this channel, if you get anything good out of this channel, throw the creator boost in there. Zmot, doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase, but obviously it needs to be a Z, not an S. That is the #1 problem as far as autocorrect and fat fingering, it seems. Nonetheless, and by the way, I don't have any idea if free diamonds count or not, but it doesn't hurt. So if you're a free player or you buy instant training or whatever it might be, please do consider throwing that name in there. Let's keep, and by the way, every 7 days as well. Tad annoying for sure, and I have forgotten at least once, but nonetheless, let's keep walking all the way back. You saw that we had that good flare point all the way back there. Ladies getting nice and skinny. Look at that. They're all walking. Uh-oh, they've decided to walk towards that boom mine. Definitely need to get rid of that boom mine, because if we don't have battle orders the second time, I'm going to be sad yet again. Here we go. Getting into position. Hopefully 1 and 2 there. 1 and 2 did not lose a delay. You saw that brick did pop out, but it managed to keep the delay. So we now have enough to do battle orders and shock some things, which should be fairly magical. And we have enough for a medkit. Look at that. So medkit for the win. Down goes stage 7 imitation game. Let me know if this helped you at all. I do not recommend going for the solo if you're a low level. I would hack some of those rocket launchers in there. Actually, I'll show you what I would do to be completely transparent here. Going for the solo, helpful in the fun method, but if you're not sure, realistically what I would do is I would hack this rocket launcher and this rocket launcher on your first attack, clear all sorts of mines, and then maybe even barrage this flamethrower right here so that you can shock 1, 2, 3, and that should be the only shock you need if you get back into a good position, because the shock launcher won't reach, the rocket launchers will be gone, and so 1 shock should be all you need, and then you could even do a free snipe from there. Anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed today's imitation game. Again, thank you for all of your kind words yesterday and your not pissed offedness, I guess is the best way to describe it. I know the video was cutting out. Today's should be much, much better. Have switched to a different protocol, switched to a different recording method, and have done some testing. Anyways, also just a quick note, there is a medic healing tribe, so if you're going to use that tank medic mania, do consider throwing some medics in there. And otherwise, I shall talk to you later. As always, thanks for coming in, commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that sort of junk. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.